So welcome everyone. In this video we will talk about Mohr's method. Okay, so Mohr's method is a type of our precipitation titration. So in precipitation titration, from the name itself it is clear that precipitates will be formed, and precipitates are our insoluble solids. So the formation of precipitate will determine our endpoint. Now let us begin. In this video we will talk about the uses, the advantages, the disadvantages, and the limitations of Mohr's method along with its reactions. Okay, so now let us begin. So this method determines the chloride ion concentration of a solution by titrating with silver nitrate. Okay, so what is happening that in this we will determine the concentration of chloride ions, and how we will determine by titrating with silver nitrate. And in majority of the precipitation titrations, silver nitrate is taken as our titrant. Okay, so that is why the precipitation titrations are also known as argentimetric titrations, because here silver nitrate is being used. Okay, so now what happens that as the silver nitrate solution is slowly added, a white precipitate of silver chromate is formed along with sodium nitrate. Okay, so what basically is happening, like for example here is our conical flask in which we have taken a sample which is having chloride ions whose concentration we have to determine. Okay, and then we will begin its titration with our silver nitrate, which is our titrant. Here we will add silver nitrate. Okay, so when the titration will begin, what will happen that this silver nitrate will react with this chloride ions to finally form silver chloride, and silver chloride is actually a white precipitate. Okay, this is our reaction number 1. This sodium chloride is actually a sample which is containing chloride ions, and we have to determine the concentration of chloride ions. Okay, so now in the first step what happened that our silver nitrate, which is our titrant, it reacted with the chloride ions to form silver chloride, which is a white precipitate. Now what happens that when all the chloride ions are consumed, which means that no more chloride ions are being present in our solution, then what happens, then the additional silver ions, they will react with the chromate ions of the indicator. Now the extra silver ions, what they will do, they will react with the chromate ions. And where do we get chromate ions? Chromate ions are the ions from the indicator, which is potassium chromate. Okay, so in Mohr's method the indicator which we use is potassium chromate. Now when no more chloride ions are available, the silver nitrate will react with the silver ions will react with the chromate ions of indicator to form silver chromate, and silver chromate is actually a red brown precipitate. Okay, so this is our final endpoint. Now what is happening, the excess silver nitrate ions, the excess silver ions will react with the chromate ions of indicator to form silver chromate, which is actually a brick red precipitate, and this will indicate our endpoint. This is all we have discussed in the Mohr's method. Okay, so here two reactions are taking place. Firstly what will happen, firstly our titrant will react with chloride ions to form a white precipitate of silver chloride, and then afterwards whenever all the chloride ions have been consumed, then this titrant will react with the indicator to form brick red precipitate. Okay, so now let us talk about the use of Mohr's method. So this method can be used to determine the chloride ion concentration of water samples from many sources such as stream water, river water, many drugs and chemicals. Okay, so this is the basic use of our Mohr's method. Now let us talk about the advantages. So the very first advantage of Mohr's method is that the method is very much simple, as it does not consume time and there is no need for more titrations. Okay, the next advantage is that this method it uses potassium chromate as an indicator, and this indicator it is very much easily accessible and affordable. This is another advantage. Okay, so the final advantage is that this method is accurate for the chloride ion determination. Okay, this is the best method for determining the chloride ion concentration. Now let us move forward towards the disadvantages of Mohr's method. Okay, so the very first disadvantage is that this method is suitable only for the titration of chloride, bromide and cyanide ions. Okay, this is the major disadvantage. Now the next disadvantage is that this method requires neutral pH. Okay, this method will need neutral pH, and it cannot be used in solutions which are acidic or basic in nature. Now this reason we will talk in a few minutes. Let us see the next disadvantage. Okay, so the next disadvantage says that errors can be introduced due to need of excess titrant before the endpoint color is visible. Okay, so which means that in this reaction what is happening, that firstly our white precipitate will be formed, and then excess silver will react with the chromate ion to form our final precipitate. So here we are saying that error can be introduced while performing the next step. Okay, so this is our final disadvantage. Now let us discuss why the acidic and basic solutions cannot be used. So the very first limitation says that when we will use acidic medium, what happens that the silver chromate gets dissolved. Okay, so in the final step, the brick red precipitate which was formed was of silver chromate. Okay, it was a precipitate, that is why it gave us brick red color, and we considered it as our endpoint. But when the medium is acidic, then this silver chromate will be dissolved and no endpoint will be obtained. Okay, so if the medium is basic, what happens then there is formation of silver hydroxide by the degradation of silver nitrate. Again here silver is what we were saying, silver chromate will not be formed, which was giving us our endpoint. Okay, so in both these conditions, whereas acidic and basic medium, these are not suitable for conducting our Mohr's method, so neutral pH has to be maintained. Now there is another important question, that why iodine cannot be analyzed by Mohr's method, because we said that chloride can also be determined and bromide can also be, but iodine cannot be determined. Okay, so now let us talk about this. So iodine cannot be analyzed by Mohr's method. What happens, because when silver nitrate, which is our titrant, it reacts with the iodide ions. Here Ki is our any sample which has iodide ions. Okay, so like in the previously we said NaCl was our sample having our chloride ions. So here Ki, which is potassium iodide, is our sample having iodide ions. So when our titrant will react with potassium iodide, what happens that silver iodide is being formed. Okay, now this silver iodide, what it does, it absorbs our chromate ions, and chromate ions were present in our indicator. Okay, so when it will absorb the chromate ion, what happened that the indicator will be disturbed. Okay, that is why the iodine, it cannot be determined by our Mohr's method. So this is another disadvantage of Mohr's method, that it cannot be used for the analysis of iodine. So this was all in Mohr's method. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.